MV8800. I'm going to share that with you today. Even though I'll be talking about the MV8800, I think that musicians and recording artists and aspiring producers would still benefit from some of the things that I share here, even though it's dedicated to a particular type of equipment. So let's dig into it. For me, mixing and mastering is about the quality of the sound. There are 4 key quality attributes that I tend to focus on. The first is volume or amplitude. Second is note or frequency. Third is timing or rhythm. And the fourth is bass or pan. Now, all 4 of these quality attributes can be affected by knobs or sliders, such as the one that we're looking at right now. Let's start with the volume quality attribute. Here I've recorded a song and I've resampled it and turned it into the song called For All We Know. You may not recognize the sample, but you may, I don't know. So here we go, turning off the volume. Okay, so everybody does that. That's pretty basic. Alright, so that's all there is to the volume quality attribute. You just move the slider up or down and you get it to the volume that you want. Second quality attribute I'd like to talk about is timing. And timing essentially is changing the event or changing when a particular sound occurs. Typically you can use delay to do that. And in this case, I have an upright and it's already got a little bit of a delay set. It's kind of a flat sound. But instead, let's add in a cymbal. Okay, right now you can hear the cymbal. There's no echo there. Alright, so what the delay does, it gives you a little bit of an echo. It basically takes the sound and plays it again at a different time. And so if I really crank up the delay, you should be able to hear it. You hear how it's kind of bouncing. Okay, to really enhance that effect, the next quality attribute is to actually think a little bit about the space. Typically pan is used to deal with space and reverb is used to deal with space. And in essence, what panning does for you is if you think of a group of musicians sitting on a stage, some of them are sitting on the left, some of them are sitting on your right, some right in the middle, or if you think of it as, let's say you're a drummer. A drummer has their instruments, all of their snare drums and toms and cymbals, they're basically laid out around them in the stereo field. So that's what the pan does for you. Here I've panned that cymbal far to the left, and I've added in some reverb so that it gives it a little bit more presence across the stage. So if you notice, even though I've got it panned to the left, you can kind of hear it in your right ear as well. Okay, let's move it over to the right ear. Okay, you hear that? Okay, and I've got that all cranked up, given as much reverb and delay as I possibly can give it, because it's kind of the character that I want out of that instrument. Alright, so now we've dealt a little bit with some of those quality attributes. Let's just play a little bit. The bass itself, I tend to like to have it off center just a little bit. And because I've got a little bit of reverb, that means that it's going to do a little bit of reverb on both the right hand side and on the left hand ear. And so I've kind of moved it just a few degrees off of the center. Alright, let's add in a few more instruments. I've already got the bass is setting the timing, the tempo, and then I'm going to throw in a piano. It's going to follow it. And right now it's kind of sitting right on top of my bass. So remember my bass is over on the right at 6. I'm going to put the piano over at left at 6 just to see how that feels. Give it a bunch of reverb. And not enough. Okay, I don't want that much reverb, but what I will do is give a little bit wider stage presence. Okay, and then I'm going to give it a little bit of delay so that it kind of bounces off the right ear. Okay, now there's another quality attribute we need to deal with, and that is called EQ. And right now I really don't like the sound that I'm getting from my grand piano. So in here I'm going to turn on the EQ for the grand piano. And I'm going to, first off, I'm going to start by dialing up so that I can hear the sound quality that I'm looking for out of this piano. Okay, it's about right there. Alright, now I'm going to dial it back down. And then I'm going to take this guy up here, dial that down, and I'm going to get close to, oops, it's about as close as I can get on this particular EQ. Okay, now that kind of gave me the effect that I wanted, but I like to keep my bass EQ free. So I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to take out in that same zone down here. Usually what I'll do is I'll take it out so much till I can hear the difference and then dial it back up until it feels right. Primarily, it's really good to get a good mix because if you're a recording artist or musician, producer, you want to hear the sound that you think is going to actually be output. The sound that's actually going to hit the record or what's going to be on the airwaves, because it makes you feel a certain way. If you don't hear the bass, if you don't hear the kick, then you're kind of gonna be lackluster in your playing, and so it impacts the music. So it's important to me to get a good mix for the musician, so that the musician can feel the music and play it the way it needs to sound. And in the end, if they're doing a great job, then you're going to do a great job of mixing and mastering. Or you can do a great job of mixing and mastering. And basically, crap in, crap out. If the musicians give you crap, then there's not much you can do about it. So it's really important to get a good mix first.